That means Elinas is now in 3rd place. And that's Niederhauser under pressure from who?
Fuminelli. So he's got a...
that must be further back. That's Fontana, surely. Yeah, he can't have rejoined that close up. Oh, he has.
No, it's Fuminelli. It is Fuminelli's, and he's got a big black mark on the front of his nose, Martin. So,
I'll tell you what, if he shot all the way across that chicane and is now happily passing people, somebody's going to give him a wake-up call later. You can't make up a dozen places, which clearly he will have lost, and then cut straight across the chicane, or the new chicane.
No, well, it was Yellowly that spun, Fuminelli's off. No, 25.
No,
so that's
Sonzini, his teammate.
So, I'm having a field day with the Trident cars, aren't I?
Yeah. Well, the great thing of having 3 near identical cars in every team, of course, is you don't even have a 50-50 chance of instant recognition in the first race weekend of the season. You've only got a 1 in 3 chance, unless you remember which one's got which coloured camera bar. And no, we don't. So on board with Carlos Sainz. And, oh, the computer's just gone to sleep. Sainz is now up to 8th, and he was a little despondent yesterday. Here's the incident. Yellowly coming down the hill.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Well, Yellowly did not run out of tyre there, although obviously he was getting on the brakes to try and make sure he could get round the corner in a place that Fuminelli was definitely not expecting.
No.
However...
You just can't do that.
Well, yes, I know, but he's on the brakes much earlier, and Fuminelli is still on the gas, obviously. Well, that's the Yensa team. Yay!
Yellowly's defending, so he has to brake slightly earlier.
Well,
and
also,
Fuminelli...
But Fuminelli came down the straight through basically a massive cloud of tyre smoke the lap before. He knows that Yellowly's in tyre trouble.
It's a premeditated move from Fuminelli. He has committed himself way too early. He's built the acceleration on the exit of turn 13 on the anticipation that Yellowly will move to the right and he can send it up the inside.
Yeah.
And that hasn't happened, and Yellowly's gone defensive, and Fuminelli's left himself with too much to do under the brakes, and he's just run into... I mean, that was like charity karting, wasn't it? Where he's just binned someone off.
Muppetry of the highest order. A good little battle shaping up here. Car number 20 is Lewis Williamson. And
Williamson 23
is currently in 9th place, ahead of Giovanni Venturini. Adelie Fong, that's the white car with the purple highlights and the yellow T-bar. Williamson, last-minute signing for Bamboo Engineering, and he should help them bring some pace. This is the battle for 3rd now. Theo Elinas with Patrick Niederhauser behind him. Elinas must be getting bored of that, and Sainz up the inside of Jack Harvey. Good move from him.
I'll tell you what, Carlos Sainz has really impressed me, the way he's driving. Just watching his onboard a lap ago, he was waiting to unravel the steering before he built the throttle. He's really thinking about managing those rear tyres, and it's paying dividends at the moment.
Well, you know what it is, Tom? It's managing the frustration, isn't it? Because this must be absolutely killing them. Wait. But you've got to put yourself in the mindset, okay, we're racing in the rain. I don't care what the car can do in the dry. I don't care what I did in qualifying on fresh tyres. Just drive to what you've got.
Yeah, it's a new concept for these guys, and it's a concept. Look at the rear of the car. Elinas couldn't turn in there at all, and Niederhauser's gone
pinches
one way.
Niederhauser, but keeps the racing line. Weiner and Courjus, and perhaps sensibly, are still 0.7 of a second apart,
Elinas
running 1
is finished.
and 2.
Niederhauser will get this with 3 laps to go.
But we said that 2 laps from the end.
No, he drive around the outside. Look, Elinas has no grip at all. Rear tyres absolutely finished. Look, he's just driven around the outside of him.
That's what Sainz looked like yesterday, isn't it?
He's gone.
But has Niederhauser got 3 laps left in his tyres or not? I mean, they've done the same distance each, you've got to think.
Yeah, but Elinas will be going backwards, so really it's Fuminelli who's next on the cards, and Fuminelli will get a penalty, no doubt.
Well, so interesting that no notification yet of the stewards looking at the Fuminelli and Yellowly incident.
They very rarely tend to do anything in the race, do they? It's always afterwards.
Well, they normally notify it. I mean, they must have spotted that something had happened by now.
Yeah, that he'll carry a penalty for Valencia.
Well, the problem is now, of course, for Elinas, on board with Sainz. And this is the Jack Harvey pass last lap. Harvey goes outside, inside, and Sainz sends it. And that's exactly what Fuminelli was hoping would happen with Yellowly. Didn't.
Sinking feeling for Jack Harvey. Not much he could do there, because you can't make a late movement under braking. and Carlos Sainz gave him the double dummy, and it's great to watch when it's done like that, isn't it? That's how you should pass. Here we go.
Yep.
And that's your penalty.
Arovagno and Kevin Courjus, 1 and 2, 10 seconds ahead of Patrick Niederhauser. Yellow flags out again in sector 1. Who's gone off there? Hello, thank you. So that is Josh Webster, who retired from yesterday's race as well, I think, perhaps.
So baptism of fire for Josh Webster. Stepped up from Bark Formula Renault, and he's been very, very strong domestically in the UK. Obviously, stepping up onto the international field is a big step, and one he'll relish and learn. And that is Fumanelli almost getting it wrong for the second time in a braking zone.
Well, and this is the worry for Elinas, the championship leader, is that he's got a guy behind who the team might well be telling him could end up with a penalty, possibly would end up with a penalty. And if you get clattered out of the race by him, again, look at all the tyre smoke in the background.
One after another.
Nobody's got tyres left. Sainz, though, does. Look, 7th place. Conor Daly just in front of the Red Bull car is having a look at Fumanelli. Braver man than me, then. Well, I think that goes without saying, actually. Who did he have the wing-losing Monaco flying incident with?
Good question. I can't remember. That was an absolute monster accident out the tunnel.
Please, I'm suggesting it. I don't know. The name Fumanelli, for some reason, is in my head. I'm not sure that it was. I will ignore that anyway.
Elinas on the move now.
Elinas starting just to pull away from this little group.
He just couldn't build the traction through 16.
Yep. Again, it's perseverance here, isn't it? Persistence will be rewarded. Last lap of the race. Well, we are going to have a Kyron Brothers 1-2, unless Courjus has a rush of blood to the head and decides to attack Arovagno. They have been 3/4 of a second apart. They are now lapping in the 143s, whereas everybody behind is doing 141s for Niederhauser and 144s. Sainz in the 143s as well. And if he hadn't started in 16th place after yesterday's tyre disaster...
Look, the car just doesn't want to turn in, it just falls away.
That's his dad's kind of rally styling there, isn't it? Trying to be smooth as it all wriggles around under him, and just... they're going to reek of tyre smoke, these guys, when they get out of the car.
Sebastian Loeb's probably sitting in the Porsche hospitality wishing he was driving one of these this afternoon.
Yeah, I bet he is. Starts 14th on the grid in the Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup race. That's coming up later on. World Touring Car driver Anna Menu starts in 16th place. Arovagno, Kevin Courjus, we have not seen much of them since lap 1, because, again, that's real maturity from Vigno and Courjus. Whoa, lock up from Fumanelli. Daly almost gets his nose inside. Can he force another one before the line? Let's see the leaders, because now we are in the final corner. Somebody's going to win this race soon. There we go. And that is 1 and 2, Vigno and Courjus, in particularly Finnish rally style. Courjus across the gravel traps to finish 1.8 seconds behind at the end. His tyres went off 1.1 seconds on the last lap. Niederhauser in 3rd, and then Tio Elinas will cement that championship lead with 4th, ahead of Fumanelli, Daly and Sainz.
I tell you what, Niederhauser blisteringly quick. Did a Conor Daly, didn't he? Yeah. Got the gap down to 5 seconds. It's amazing how quickly it can turn in a lap or two, because Sainz was looking great, and then he started to struggle, but this man didn't, and their pace has to be commended, because they went off like a hare, didn't they?
You've got to look at the Kyron Brothers and how happy that team was. It is literally a team started by 2 Finnish brothers to run their own racing cars that then sort of developed a little bit and grew like Topsy. Spent a lot of time in the Formula Renault Euro Cup, the 2-litre Formula Renaults. Started there 8-9 years ago, 10 years ago, I think, and have graduated for the first time to Formula 1 support racing with GP3, and they have a 1-2 Sunday morning result. And again, Arovagno, great start from him to take the lead. Courjus could have attacked at any time in those 17 laps. Tom, I think, probably took the grown-up decision to take second place, unless the lead was handed to him.
There's a lot said to how they approached the race. You know, they drove their own race, they managed the tyres, they weren't in battles, locking up, going offline, picking up rubber, picking up dirt. You know, it was a very mature and well thought out approach.
Well, they're two experienced drivers, aren't they? We've seen Vino a lot in GP3, but Corjus has also done a couple of seasons in World Series by Renault and Formula Renault Euro Cup, so they decided to make the best of what they had, and the best of what they had is a 1-2 result for the team.
Interestingly enough, we saw Hilmer Motorsport yesterday show everyone how it's done in GP2, and a new team show everyone how it's done in GP3, and that says a lot, and all credit to them. It can be done, because there's some real powerhouses in these junior formulas, isn't there?
Well, don't forget, later on this morning we return to Monza for race 1 of the World Superbike Championship. Jack and James trackside at the Autodromo Nazionale, and in the studio here in London, Tony Carter with guest Shaky Byrne, and stunning lap from Tom Sykes to claim pole position yesterday. And don't forget also that David Goldstrom will bring you all the action right after this from Szeged in Hungary of the Sprint World Cup. So they are going to be racing in just a few moments. Well, that's it from the GP3 Series 50th race, a 1-2 for new team Kyron and Brothers. And once more, the talking point is tyres.